Hello, lovely soul, and welcome to this behind the scenes video. It's part of my behind the scenes series where I take you behind the scenes of a card interpretation and angel message that I have shared that week. And I share things like what I may have said, what caught my eye on the card and why, and what may have been running through my head whenever I was giving the message. So I literally take you behind the scenes and share one thing about the message that I shared that week. Now, this week, we have been invited to look at the Oracle deck Les Vampire by Lucy Cavendish. And the card that we were considering is this one, Hope. Anticipation, bright prospects, wish. And the theme of this behind the scenes video is facial expressions and body language. Whenever you're working with angel and oracle cards, you will often find a figure in the card. Sometimes you only find a figure in the card, depending on the theme behind that deck. And figures on cards don't just make cards relatable. Even though she is a vampire, you can relate to her because she is young and she has this feminine quality about her, but it's more than that. They can give such a strong message themselves. And in this card, what was standing out for me was both the facial expression and the body language. In her facial expression, it was the eyes. Her eyes were telling me a story. The eyes were telling me about sadness. We're talking about hope here. It's as if she was consumed by sadness before she lit the candle to bring some light, to bring some hope. But at the same time, although she has lit her candle, it feels like through her body language, she's still quite closed. Maybe she's not believing in the hope that she's hoping for. But her body language is quite closed. Whenever you cross your arms, for example, or you cross your legs, the natural flow of energy through your body will be impeded. It won't be stopped, but it can be hindered. It can be blocked. So if you're working with, say, energy, or maybe you're working with a pendulum, you can do experiments that whenever your legs are crossed, how does the pendulum react? And whenever your legs are uncrossed, how does the pendulum react? For example, our energy can become blocked and stagnant whenever we cross our body. And it's giving a closed expression, almost like I'm not open for this shit. I may be talking about hope, but my body language is closed, so I'm not quite there yet. So you can receive a lot of information, not just by her presence on the card that helps you to relate to there being a figure on the card, but also as a result of the expression on her face, and in particular, in this case, her body language, because we don't always see the full body on a card. Sometimes we only see the bust. Sometimes we only see the face. We rarely, well, sometimes we do, but not so often do we see a full figured person. And in this case, you can read a lot by looking at this person. So whenever you turn over a card and you see the head or the bust of a figure or the full figure, and it catches your eye, don't just assume it's because it makes this card relatable. Don't just assume if it's feminine that it's in relation to feminine energy, or if it's masculine, it's in relation to masculine energy. Find the story behind the figure. Look into their eyes. Look at their facial expression. Look at how they are holding themselves, their body language. Is it open? Is it closed? Is it friendly? Is it courageous? Is it aggressive? You can read so much more, and that can bring so much more information into the card that you're interpreting, because you can get a feel for the message behind this card. It's saying hope, but it's also asking, are you ready for hope? Or are you still letting the darkness consume you?